Really, really happy to get out of here with a win. I know it was going to be tough, and they delivered on that. Tough environment, education day against a really, really good opponent. They haven't lost since they played us, and so they're going to get some people down the stretch. And I'm glad that we're out of here.
26 combined three-pointers tonight. You guys get 14 of them. Did you kind of know that was going to happen with these two teams?
Yeah, they shoot the ball very, very well. I didn't know that we would shoot it as well on the road, but they came out hot. And so I did think that their percentage would go down. I think for a really long time they were shooting like 55% or something. But yeah, I was a little disappointed in how we guarded the 3-point line because we had talked about that all week. But we definitely knew it was going to be a track meet.
Tied going into the fourth quarter. You guys have been in tight games on the road. How is this one different? Because you used a little bit of a spark there at the beginning of the fourth quarter to kind of create some space.
Yeah, I mean they're fighters. They're a bunch of fighters. I think at this time of year, anytime you can get in those situations and play yourself out of them, it's going to make you better down the stretch.
You were down 5 in the third, and then all of a sudden you go on a little bit of run, like you mentioned, the big three, I think, from was in Meredith, I think, at the end of the third. And what was it that between her and Abby that kind of helped spark and pull some separation?
Yeah, we have a bunch of players on this team that just really want to win. And they'll do whatever it takes, whether that be diving on a loose ball, going to get offensive rebounds. I thought we had some really big offensive rebounds in the fourth quarter that gave us some second chance threes, which, I mean, that was a part of the spark as well.
Was there anything that you were preaching over and over in the huddle that kind of helped lead to that kind of, I guess, ingrained in their minds, like, all right, this is what we need to continue to do?
Yeah, I mean, I told them somewhere through the third quarter I didn't care about the score until we got to the fourth quarter. And they did a really good job of responding to that and realizing that 5 points to us is really nothing. We can score 5 points in 30, 45 seconds, but so can they. And so just really making sure that we continued to play our game.
Obviously Abby came up with big shots, but I thought girls like Tamia, Meredith obviously came up with shots maybe when you needed them most.
Yeah.
Did you think the same?
Absolutely. You have a kid like Tamia who hasn't got a lot of minutes, and then she steps in and she hits 2 threes back to back when things were going south. And I think that was a really big spark for us as well. And then Meredith hitting the one to close the quarter gave us some momentum and some life going into the fourth quarter. Which when you're in a tough environment and you're exhausted, things like that go a long way.
3-0 in education day games if you're keeping that stat.
That's true. I like that.
But, we kind of poke fun at the 8 a.m. practice times, but that kind of routine, does that pay off now in games like this in the middle of the week when you're playing early games?
Absolutely. We chose not to take our shoot around because it was 7 a.m., but we could have taken it because we are used to being up that early in the morning. And so I love education days when they're over. It's 2 o'clock. We get to watch everyone else's games. We get to be at ODU at a reasonable hour. And so, again, just I'm ready to get on the bus. Glad to get out of here with a win.
Turn the page quick. ODU next, another tough one.
A huge, huge opponent. They're very different, but kind of similar. They're both very good defensively. This was probably a quicker game, but I mean, ODU is going to be out for blood on us, and we're very aware of that. And it's going to be a huge game for our program. If we can come out this week 2-0, it'll be huge. And so I'm thankful to get out of here with a win. But the next one, we can't celebrate this one too long. I thought we used a lot of energy. Our kids played really, really hard tonight, and we got a game very quickly, so we got to get back to it.
Yeah. But you guys tie it going into the fourth quarter. Big fourth quarter for you guys. Mm-hmm. Just how much does it mean to come out with a
win? It's awesome that we came out with a win, but I can't say that I'm really surprised because that's just what we do, I feel like. I think we've kind of built that tradition here, or we are continuing to. So, I mean, I'm very happy and I'm very excited that we can continue the streak. But I can't say that I'm super surprised. I'm just really proud that the team can pull through. So, yeah.
They came out and hit the 3. I think they hit 5 in the first few minutes.
Yeah.
26 combined 3-pointers today. Mm-hmm. Did you kind of figure that was going to be a big factor?
We definitely knew they were going to come out and play hard just because they play good at home and they have a huge crowd here to support them. So I think me and the team, I think we were prepared for that just mentally, that knowing that they were going to come out and give us their best. But I think once they were hitting those, I think, like me at least, I kept it in the back of my head, like it's the first quarter. We have 3 more to play. We've got this. Nothing to worry about. So.
You came up with some big shots too, including that one to tie it going into the last frame. Just how big were those buckets when it felt like they were creating some space and some momentum and you could take it right away?
Yeah, for sure. They were definitely a momentum changer just because I think we were kind of not hitting a lot and then all of a sudden we came out and I think that changed the flow of the game because once I hit a few, Ace started hitting a few. I think from the same spot actually. They were back to back. So that definitely was a momentum changer for us, and I think it got us going in our offense because I think once you hit a few shots, it just makes you more confident.
Obviously, this is the first of 2 games this week. Big contest against ODU come
Yeah.
up.
They were tough. They were definitely a tough team, but I think we're excited to play them again, just to prove that we're still that team that can win. So I'm excited to see what happens.
You said everything I needed to do. So
I stuttered so much.
No, I was throw you one more.
Okay.
The third Education Day game you guys have
Yeah.
played in. They kind of poked fun at those early morning practices that first semester, but
There's a lot of those.
does that kind of help in situations like this when you're getting up a little earlier than normal on a weekday?
Yeah, I would say it does, definitely. I mean, it still sucks for me because I'm not a morning person whatsoever, but I'm definitely more prepared because we have to wake up early for practices anyways. So, I mean, I'm used to it. I don't like it, but I'm definitely used to it.
Actually, I will ask one thing. You said something before where you weren't surprised. How important is it to have that swagger going on the road to almost have that killer instinct or feel like, you know what, it is going to be a tough environment where you expect to win?
Yeah, I think it's just kind of what Coach Kim like instills in us. Like it's just knowing that we are a good team and having that confidence in ourselves. So I mean, I just think that's kind of just like what's been bred into us this past year that we've had her as a coach. And I think as she continues and as we continue, I think we're just gonna keep bringing that to the table.